Captain Levi Densmore was born in 1835 in Noel Shore to Deacon William Densmore. He was called Deacon William, and his wife, Catherine Thompson of 9 Mile River. Levi died in 1904 in Noel Shore. His primary occupation during his lifetime was master mariner, basically with a side on farming. He was born on the family farm, the land grant that was given to his ancestor James Densmore when he arrived in Nova Scotia in 1764. And he married. He had 3 sons. And as I said, he was a noted person, both on the sea and on land. At a fairly young age, he went to sea. The newspaper article regarding his death noted that he was 50 years at sea, and a good 40 of them were as a ship's master. And we know that he owned 3 ships, the Autumn, Brigantine, and the Eureka, and the Medusa, which was a bark. We know that he built his one ship, at least one ship, the Eureka. These details are contained in the Maritime History Archive at Memorial University in Newfoundland. His brother John, I should say too that Levi was the eldest of 12 children, 8 daughters and 4 sons. His younger brother John was also a sea captain, and they both have certificates of competency as master mariners. He spent, as I said, a good deal of his life at the sea. On land, he kept a journal, as I said, and also managed a farm. He was a community-minded man, and then this is one of the interesting things about him. Just to jump ahead a little bit, when he died, it was under unusual circumstances. The story that was posted in the Truro Daily News on the month of his death was that he had gone for a walk down to the beach and had not returned in time for his noon meal. And when his son, who would have been my great-grandfather, Fred Densmore, went looking for him, he found him lying in the water, in shallow water, face down, and he had passed away. The coroner's jury that was called determined that it was probably a heart attack that took him, and that he did not die by drowning. But the same newspaper article spoke very highly of him as a person with strong character. He was kindly, gentlemanly, but strong and firm in his convictions of what he believed was just and right. We know that he was highly esteemed in the community, and we know that he was community-minded. Where he grew up on Kings Creek Farm, he provided 2 plots of land on the south side of the highway, one for the school, the Noel Shore School, and the other for the community hall. And with the proviso, of course, that when those buildings were no longer needed or declared redundant or whatever, they would be returned, the property in question would be returned to the family farm. His brother John was also a master mariner, and one of the sad issues in Levi's life, of course, was that on an occasion when they were sailing together, and Levi was master and his brother John was probably first mate, he fell overboard, John did, and drowned in New York Harbor. His body was never recovered. That's something that apparently troubled Levi for the rest of his life. Levi's son Howard, he had 3 sons, Fred, who was my great-grandfather, and Albert and Howard. Howard went to sea as well at age 16 as a cabin boy. He sailed for basically about 6 years, and his last 3 trips were on the Norman, which his father was master of. And at the end of that trip, he left the sea and went to Dalhousie Medical School for a year, and after that year went to Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore and got his medical degree. And he didn't practice for as long as one might have hoped he would. He had a practice in Elmsdale in Hants County, and at some point had to leave it because of ill health, and in fact he died in 1904, just 6 weeks before his father did. A tremendous loss to the medical community, of course, and to the family as well.